let's go.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon and welcome to Rotary. Nathan Parchman is going to lead us in the prayer and Pledge of Allegiance, the invocation and the pledge. Nathan?
Good afternoon, everyone. If you bow your heads. Lord, just want to thank you for this day. Thank you for bringing us together as a Rotary Club. I want to thank you for the excellent members we have, the fantastic club, and everything that they do for our community. Thank you for the community you've given us and allowing us to come together as family and friends. Pray that you would just help us through everything we do. And I want to thank you for all of our many blessings. Recently, it seems like there's been a loss of a lot of loved ones in the community, family, friends, taken before their time. So I just want to pray that you just help their families. Pray that you'd help the health of our community and through these trying times, and also bless this meeting maybe and use it to your will. Thank you for all these many things in your name. Pray. Amen. So if we can do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if you could, join me in the four-way test. The four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And last but not least, will it be fun? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nathan. All right. So I know that Greg was going to have a visitor today, but unfortunately I had something come up at the last minute. Do we have any visiting Rotarians or any other guests that have joined us today?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my wife, Carol. Next to me. We're in Sedona, Arizona, but she said, join me today for at least for a portion of the meeting.
Oh, hello. Hi, Carol. Good to see you. Oh,
I'm going to put him in timeout and then I'll bring him back, see if that helps.
okay.
Timeout. I like it.
They're coming back. Sorry, carry on.
All right. Any other guests or visiting Rotarians today? All right. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to implement a breakout room. What I'd like to hear everyone share is what their plans are for this week with Halloween coming up. Are you planning to have trick-or-treaters or not? Are you planning to go out of town? Are you planning to dress up? Do you plan to wear a mask? What are you going to do? All right, Grayson, pull the trigger.
Doug, were you able to find your breakout room there? Looks like you're muted, so if you'll unmute Let me go ahead and move you to another breakout. Let's go here. You should see an invitation that pops up that says like join breakout room or something like that on your screen. You'll just go ahead and click that and it'll go to your breakout room. There you go. Kurt and Steve, are you guys okay? Let me know in the chat if you need help. Welcome back, everybody.
We weren't done talking, Grayson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We were just about to hear what Harlan was going to do. Darn it.
He can share.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob Frost.
Oh,
Okay, hi.
Hi, Mary.
Oh, lots of people to see.
Hey, well, we live pretty close to Harlan out here. I'm hoping that he's not going to do anything brash.
Yeah, I can see Phil's house from right here, and we're not doing anything brash. We're going to be going down to Florida for just a couple of days, driving back on Monday because I'm an election judge on Tuesday.
Oh, wow. Well,
Well,
guys,
thank you for doing that civic duty.
yeah. All right. So Sheriff Ken was having some trouble with his computer earlier today, so we don't have a trivia question, but it was nice to have a breakout room so that we could all visit with each other and kind of get caught up in a smaller group. John Bailey, are you ready for some makeups?
No, he's got somebody after him
I
there.
sure am. And we have a bunch of them today.
Oh, John, somebody's in your office.
What is that?
Oh my gosh.
He wanted to show us costumes.
I love it.
Okay, we'll start off with Allison Agar. He had a Vine Street Market makeup. So did Carl. Vine Street Market makeup. Woody had, looks like 4. 3 were Veterans Day and 1 was a virtual Rotary Summit. Rich Ashness had a club social, Rock Springs Park. Daryl Cook, social at Rotary Park. Shirley Cook, Rotary Summit. Harlan Garish, Vine Street Market. Mary Alice, the board meeting and the Vine Street Market. Rich Lunan had a few here. Rock Springs Pavilion Takeout, Vine Street Market. India Polo Trip presentation. Caulk and Restain, the Rock Springs Park Pavilion, and then another Caulk and Restain, the Rock Springs Park Pavilion. Mr. Dave Blocker had 3 from the OTHS Interact Club. Dave Rothschild had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Had 6, mainly dealing with the Habitat for Humanity and the Vine Street Market.
I have a
Wonderful.
question for John. This is Phil.
Yes, sir.
How important is it to have registered or makeups? Is there some kind of a club figure of merit or something versus the other district clubs for number of makeups or total attendance or whatever?
Well, from what I've seen, our club takes attendance very seriously. I think we are the top club in the area for attendance, and we're very proud of that. And I think we want to maintain that. So in that regard, makeups are pretty important. And I understand maybe logging into DACDB might be a little cumbersome. Anybody's more than welcome to text or email me their makeup, and I'll be happy to enter that in for them.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I was just wondering what the context of the import was. Thanks.
Well, and attendance is something we ought to talk about sometime. You know, it used to be really, really important. Now, not quite as much, but I think it's still super important if you get out of the habit.
And also for any,
I don't know
Sorry.
if you can hear me or not. You hear me okay?
you're breaking up, Rich.
Okay, I'm just here, but the governors will still have cash if you maintain attendance over 70%. It'll be that way or not, but only real important thing I getting.
So I might be able to help give you a little bit of background noise on this. Everything you hear from Rotary International is about engagement versus attendance at meetings. So one of the ways we measure the metric of how engaged our members are is we document whether we've attended one of our meetings like this, or if we participated in one of our service projects or attended another Rotary experience elsewhere. So it's the best metric that we have to show how engaged the Rotary Club of O'Fallon is. And as I think Rich was trying to explain, that's one of the things that the district does measure when we're evaluated as to how well-rounded is our club. So it's just a metric, and there's an ability for us to communicate if we're doing something outside of our traditional meeting, and frankly to share with all of our other club members the world of Rotary outside of O'Fallon, because you might find something that intrigues you from somebody else's experience. So hopefully that answers the question.
Thank you, Jill.
And if you participated in last week's takeout social, please make sure that your makeup got entered. If you don't enter it yourself, if you don't mind sending John or myself an email, we will get it physically input for you.
Tanya, you guys had said that if we showed up, you guys were going to automatically do it for all attendees. So that's why I didn't do it.
Okay, well, we will get that put in. Anybody have happy bucks that they'd like to share?
So,
Go ahead, Jill.
Tanya, and I'll set it on Venmo. So just an acknowledgement of World Polio Day, which happened to fall on a Saturday this year. For those of you who don't know, October 24th is when the entire world of Rotary helps bring that recognition to our fight against polio and the importance of that eradication. And on World Polio Day, I haven't seen the overall numbers of what was donated, but it's when a lot of us choose to make our personal donations, but also get out in the community. I'll just give you an example of how a simple little project turned into something phenomenal in the state of Tennessee, and it's now expanded beyond that. One of the Rotary Club members happened to be an owner of some of the Dunkin' Donuts franchises. So they started this Pinkies for Polio donut campaign where literally you buy a dozen of donuts of Long Johns and they put purple icing on one tip of it to help tell the story of how children have their pinkies dyed purple after they receive the polio drops in third world countries. That campaign this year raised more than $1.2 million. So you never know where a good idea can go and the impact that you can have by just like in donuts. But I thought that was an incredible example of how Rotarians could make a difference and inspire others. So I'm going to give 5 happy bucks for that.
Thanks, Jill. John Bailey has his hand raised.
Yeah, this isn't really a happy book. I don't know when I could announce this, but it's probably the farthest thing from happy. My next door neighbor was killed last week in a car accident. He was only 36 years old, and he leaves behind 2 very small children. They have a GoFundMe link to help out his family, and I'd like to maybe send that out, and if anybody can help his family out, I think they would be very appreciative of it.
Thank you, John. I'm so sorry to hear that.
John, you're going to send that to everybody in the club?
Yeah, I'll figure out. I'm not sure how exactly to do that, but I have the link, and I'll get with the appropriate people, and we'll get it out to everybody.
Thanks.
I think you could probably put it in the chat and get it out to everybody.
That's a great idea. I'll do that now.
I'll give a happy buck for the fun we had, how good it was to see people at our food outing, even though it wasn't conducive to eating out. but it was kind of cool.
All right. Anybody else?
This is Shirley Cook.
Yeah.
I have a couple happy birthdays.
Yeah, this,
Go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Shirley Cook. I have a couple happy bucks. I'm just happy that my Uncle Tony, who's 93 years old, is staying free of COVID. And unfortunately for those that aren't, but he's staying free of COVID. He's still living at home. He needs a little help here and there, but I'm just happy that he'll enjoy his longevity and his memories and the things that he wants to share, and especially the things that he remembers about his mom and dad, my grandma and grandpa, from the pandemic in the 1900s. So I'm just happy that he's with us.
Thank you, Shirley.
You're welcome.
Dave Witter, did you have a happy buck?
well, it's really not a happy buck. It's another sad buck. I don't know. Many of you probably know Sid and Carol Spengler, and unfortunately, Carol passed away this past week unexpectedly. And Sid served on the, for years, served on the Rotary Wheels Committee as the member from the Chamber of Commerce. Now Debbie has taken his place. He just resigned that last year, I believe. So anyway, it's Carol was born and raised here. Her father was Lieutenant Ferguson. He was a policeman in town as Doug and I were growing up. But anyway, that just another sad buck. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hear that. Any other happy bucks? Okay. All right. If not, then let's move on to our new member, Larry Strube. Rich is his sponsor. Rich, would you like to make an introduction for Larry to the club?
If they're broken up, and if I am, just said yes. And if that, I will just go ahead and let Woody Ullman make the introduction. But we're glad Larry's joined.
All right. Woody, are you on?
Yes, Tanya, it's Woody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, team, Tanya told me to start out with a famous Woody joke. So here you go. Why didn't the green pepper practice archery? He didn't have an arrow.
Ah.
Okay, I got one clap. Thank you very much. All right, so Larry, welcome to the team. You're going to hear great jokes like this quite often from me. Larry Strube comes to us, lives in O'Fallon on Coles County Drive. He is a retired colonel in the Air Force and retired from the Boeing Company also. His sponsor, as you'd heard, is Rich Lunan. Good job, Rich. And his lovely wife, Patty. A lot of you have met her when you're working at the O'Fallon Food Pantry. She's in charge of the O'Fallon Community Food Pantry, and Larry is the treasurer over there. Larry and Patty have 3 children, Lauren, John, and Stephen. Larry was a member of the Sunset Hills Rotary Club in Spokane, Washington, while he was stationed at Fairchild in '94 through '96. Larry is the president of the Scott Field Heritage Air Park. If you haven't seen our beautiful air park outside our Shiloh gate here on base, it's super impressive. It took us several years to get that put up, and it's got the aircraft static displays lit at night, and it's just gorgeous. And of course, it's got the best aircraft in the world, the KC-135 Stratotanker out there, looking lovely. Larry is also a member of the Greater St. Louis Area Council for Boy Scouts of America. He's an executive board member. And when Larry was here at Scott Air Force Base, he was the wing vice commander. So you can see Larry will add a lot to our team. And I work with Larry. He's our head usher at the O'Fallon First United Methodist Church, and does so much in the church and in the community, and he'll be perfect for our team. So you can see a picture. Larry and I were, after Sunday school yesterday, we took that photo in the lobby of our church. So I was able to induct him with his new member certificate yesterday, but I forgot to give him his Rotary pin. So Larry, if I don't see you next Sunday, you get your Rotary pin. Welcome to the team, Larry. Did you have any words for the team?
No, thank you, Woody. It is really a pleasure to join the club. Having been associated with Rotary before, I know the impact that the clubs have on their local communities, and this one is no different. So a lot of friends in the club, looking forward to getting together and eating lunch and visiting with everybody. And thank you very much, Woody.
Thank you, Larry. I appreciate all you do.
All right. Larry, are you ready to be sworn in?
I am.
Okay, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Larry Strube.
I, Larry Strube.
Having been admitted as a new member of the Rotary Club of O'Fallon.
Having been admitted as a new member of the Rotary Club of O'Fallon.
RI District 6510.
RI District 6510.
Do hereby solemnly swear upon my honor.
Do hereby solemnly swear upon my honor.
To faithfully and willingly discharge the duties and responsibilities of my office.
To faithfully and willingly discharge the duties of my office.
Fully conscious of the important obligations.
Fully conscious of the important obligation.
Which I have voluntarily committed to assume.
Which I have voluntarily committed to assume.
I further pledge to uphold and defend.
I further pledge to uphold and defend.
The Constitution and bylaws of the Rotary Club of O'Fallon.
The Constitution and bylaws of the Rotary Club of O'Fallon.
And that of Rotary International.
And that of Rotary International.
Ever putting into practice Rotary's motto, service above self.
Ever putting into practice Rotary's motto, service above self.
And applying the four-way test as the basis of all my actions.
And applying the four-way test as the basis of all my actions.
All these I pledge and promise to do and observe.
All these I pledge and promise to do and observe.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Larry. Welcome to the club.
Thank you, Tanya.
Here, here.
All right. Okay, so we'll move on to club announcements. All right, if you have trouble with any digital issues, please feel free to reach out to Grayson. He is just excellent at helping people work through their issues in this new digital world. Don't forget that this week is the last week to sign up for the virtual Halloween costume contest. Bob is going to give us an update for that. please make sure that you guys are helping to promote this to your friends and neighbors. This is a great opportunity for the community to still participate in a safe way.
You want me to give an update now, Tanya?
You can, or if you want to do your do it during your report, whichever. Bob, how many people do you have signed up?
We had about 9 a week ago, but we expect a lot more folks to sign up the closer it gets to Halloween, because, or this Thursday, which is the deadline, because with trick or treating, and I don't know if they're going to be doing anything with schools. I think people are a little reluctant to get dressed up just to take a photograph when Halloween is a distance away. So the closer we get in, we expect more photographs to be submitted. Thursday at noon is the deadline for the submission of the photographs. I have 5 judges that will judge the photographs that are submitted in each category. And I have cards with gift certificates to present or provide to the winners or their parents, naturally, on Saturday after we determine the winners. And Tanya, if we have any difficulty with ties or anything like that, I'll probably call upon you to make a judgment, but we'll just have to see there. And then we'll post, I would think it'd be proper to post on social media the winners of the contest. And we'll do that after the contest is over. So I'll be in touch with Dale if he's doing okay, or some other folks to get with social media to publicize it. So that's about where we stand right now.
Thank you so much, Bob. Thanks for the update.
Okay. And my computer and sound and video is working terrific.
You look great.
I don't know about that, but.
So we wanted to, so our newest member, Larry, actually is giving us a service project opportunity already. So November 21st is actually when the Boy Scouts will be delivering their food from the food drive to the food pantry. Larry, you want to talk a little bit about that and the volunteer opportunity?
Oh, you bet, Tanya. So with COVID this year, it's kind of thrown a wrench into our standard process that we use every year when the Boy Scouts bring in the food to the O'Fallon Township building. Typically, we just have volunteers come in and support us. But because the township is limiting, based on the directions from the state, limiting the number of people that can be in any one location, I've reached out to a number of organizations to see if they would be interested in helping with the food sorting on that Saturday. And what the plan would be, just so we can maintain control over it, is to have 15 members of the club for the first shift from 9:30 to 11, and then another 15 from 11:30 to 2:30. So basically 2 short shifts. Right now, we're trying to get 50 volunteers, and I've got outreach to a number of clubs and organizations, and I think we'll easily do that. If that number changes, obviously, I'll have the ability to contact you to let you know. But the real key is just making sure we have a firm count so that we don't either have too many people or, even worse, too few people, and I have to sort all the cans myself. So that's the idea.
Wonderful. So if you guys are interested in volunteering, if you'll shoot me an email, we'll have a sign up list, and we'll get you all signed up and everything, and get that list over to Larry so that they know they have plenty of support.
Perfect. Thanks, Tanya.
Hey,
Thank you.
Procedurally, how's that going to work, Larry?
So we will obviously indoors be wearing masks. By by limiting the number of people we comply with the rules. And then we're working right now with the scouts on how they're going to actually drop the food off so that we don't get them intermingling with the volunteers that are separating the food there, Dave.
All right.
Saturday, November 14th.
November 21st.
Excellent.
And the bag drop off for the area is going to be the 14th. Pickup is the 21st.
That's correct.
All right. Don't forget that now is a great time to grow our club. And we are doing a membership drive through the end of the year. If you bring in the most new members, you could earn a 500 Paul Harris points toward your Paul Harris Fellow. So we encourage you right now to get out there and share the good news of Rotary with potential members. You can invite them to a meeting. You can share the link that you get sent every week with a potential new member. You can also share on Facebook our live streamed meetings with friends of yours. We have a really great club. It's a great way to give back to the community, and it's an even better way to get to know some wonderful people in the community. So now's the time to really encourage people to get involved with Rotary. All right, so we have a business meeting. It's our favorite time of year. And get over to that. So the big things that I did this month as your president was worked closely with Dave Plocker and Grayson Wolcott to put together the takeout social for the club. The basis behind that was really to use a social opportunity to try to get together as a club, support a local restaurant, and potentially, you know, have a meal together. However, as we moved closer toward the date, it became more and more fluid with how we were going to be able to, how many people we were going to be able to have, even if we had it outdoors. So it became more difficult to plan. So what we did was we just planned a takeout social where everyone placed an order from a local restaurant. The food was all brought to that location and everyone picked up their food, and then they could opt to eat the food together or eat it somewhere else. I think it turned out well despite the weather. We ended up contributing about $600 and some odd to the First Street Lounge's receipts on a Monday night. Not a bad way to start their week. And I think it kind of shared the good news of Rotary with them as well. Right now, we are working on the holiday calendar for meetings, so stay tuned for that. We're also looking at the O'Fallon Food Pantry Service Project, and we're developing a plan for eventual hybrid meetings. That is not an easy process. We tried to have a board meeting with a hybrid format the other day, so we're still working through a lot of the logistics of that, and trying to figure out how that would best work so that everyone feels like they're still engaged. We've had several suggestions from members who are doing in-person church meetings, but please remember that as a Rotary Club, we are classified different than a church or even a drive-in theater, because I have asked. We are still, like I said, we're still working on trying to figure out how we can get back together in person. But obviously with the recent shutdown, that's set us back again, because now they're back to no more than 25 people at a meeting. So those are some of the things that I've been working on as your president. And again, thank you for the opportunity to lead this great club. Again, we're talking about the annual giving budget. We budgeted $13,505. Kevin is going to give us our update from the trivia night, as well as the additional information on the financials for the club.
Sure. Can you hear me okay? Yep. Can you hear me?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the treasurer's report, this is information as of the end of September. I'd like to start off with our bank accounts. I'm pleased to say that we have a total of $36,330 available for club use. We had $31,700 in our operating account. We had $609 in our charitable account. I'm closing that out as we speak and getting that rolled into our operating account. And we had $4,021 in our savings account. So again, $36,330, that's a good balance for us. Dues that I sent out at the beginning of July, I have just 11 members that remain to pay on that. So I'd encourage those to get their payments in. We're still collecting money on the virtual trivia night. And so I'll have a really finalized number at the end of October. I don't have anything it's September, since I know we received some of those funds in October. So far on our QuickBooks reports, in the operating account, we've collected $7,560 through the end of September. That's all from dues. We spent $7,473. So we have a surplus in our operating account of $87 through September. In the charitable account, we've collected $9,067. That's from fines and happy bucks, a little bit of money from Rees Across America, and then primarily the majority of that is from our trivia night. We've only spent $3,275. That is for our flag display, for an early childhood development donation, and for our academic scholarships from last year. That creates a surplus in the charity account of $5,792. So that's why our cash balances have grown. So that's everything I've got for the treasurer's report, unless there's questions.
You're muted, Tanya.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Kevin. Rich, anything to share with the club?
I'm coming to the club. We had 21 consecutive sets that we started the vine market with set up, and we had probably 5 members that. So community service support, and also 5 the fire did that all one day. Jerry, Mark Wolford, Steve Snyder,
I'm going to say that you probably wrap that up. Okay, Dave Callahan, do you have anything to add?
The only thing I would have to add, Tanya, is that I hope that we can maybe get together in early 2021. Maybe by then we'll be able to at least have a hybrid meeting.
Yeah. Same. All right, John Bailey, anything to add?
Well, we still lead the area in attendance. That's about all I have to add. We're doing well for considering all the Zoom meetings and the crazy year we're having.
That's good news. All right, Woody, you're on.
Yes, ma'am. So, Larry Strube, you're our first new member of the Rotary year. So we really appreciate you. And again, welcome aboard. I think I told everybody Chad Schwartz's neighbor's on hold, Paveo, because with COVID, he has to do some work in Florida. So he plans on joining us at a later date, and we'll keep us posted. I haven't heard any more from Carrie Ruby's guest, Rebecca Huller, but I did send her a email thanking her for attending as a guest, and I may ping her again. Tanya gave me two names, Ian Rudder, who is a friend of Brad Lewis, and Ralph Jackson, who is a friend of Jim Campbell and was one of our previous speakers. We sent them out the club brochure and application if they were interested, and gave them as many details as we could. And Tanya pinged them a day or two ago, so we'll see how that goes. But thanks to all for keeping up on the new members and trying to get new members in the club. Also, we don't have any corporate memberships yet. Tanya started that at the beginning of her Rotary year. Again, I can give you the details on that. If you know of anybody that may want to do a corporate membership, we'd be glad to tell you all about it and engage with the company that you're thinking about. For the Veterans Affairs Committee, Casey Sharvin has given Veterans Affairs briefings at the Mount Vernon Club and St. Clair County East. I've given presentations to Jackson Williamson and Carbondale, and tomorrow I'll be giving Veterans Affairs brief to Carlisle Club. So I'm looking forward to that. It's great to see the other clubs on Zoom and interact with them and see how they do business. Of course, I still think we're the best, but you know that I'm kind of biased there. A couple events coming up. I'm also on the Patriotic Services Committee for O'Fallon, and the Veterans Day event on Wednesday, 11 November at 11 a.m. will not be at the monument this year due to COVID. We're going to do it at the O'Fallon First United Methodist Church, and it's by invitation only due to COVID. So we're inviting the veterans who were placed on the memorial, their names from Memorial Day, and that have already been transcribed for Veterans Day. So they've received personal invitations for their families, and that'll be on Veterans Day, Wednesday, 11 November, 11 a.m. But again, unfortunately, due to COVID, we can't invite the public. Wreaths Across America is a go. Saturday, 19 December at 11 a.m. We're hoping to get the VFW to help out again, and they're a tremendous help, partnership with us. I've received a recent donation from the representative for the Daughters of the American Revolution to help out with our wreath purchase. And I've engaged with the Scouts again, and we've already got some troops that are interested in attending. I did receive an email from Sergeant Janice at OTHS, and the Air Force Junior ROTC students at OTHS are going to help us out again. So that's a go, and we're really looking forward to that. And as we get closer, I'll give you more details. That's about all I had. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Woody.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I know that Dale has been out of service, so we'll move on. Grant, are you on? I don't think Grant is on today. Dave Plocker, anything to add for for club service, excuse me?
So our setup team hasn't had to do much. One of these days that'll change. We're just leading the pledge and invocation and the four-way test each week. So our November team is Don Murdoch, although I don't know if Don is available, Ed True, Rick Van Etten, Eric Van Hook, Kurt Schilneck, and Carrie Hubery. So I'll send a note out to you guys and suggest some dates for those of you, because we only had, I think, what, 3 meetings in November, if that many?
So we have a couple of meetings. Our November calendar is, we have the Veterans Day presentation next week on Monday. And then we also have the social that will be coming up this month. And those are the only meetings that we have for November, because we're off for Veterans Day on the 9th, and then we're off again right after Thanksgiving. So we don't have that many meetings in November. The other issue that we're going to be discussing is, and this is something we figured out with the recent board meeting that we had on Friday, is how do we have a hybrid meeting? The setup team has to be really committed to helping get that going. So I would suggest, if you are interested in volunteering to help with a hybrid meeting, if you know some things about a hybrid meeting, reach out to Dave and myself to try to help that go smoother. That was one of the things we had a problem with last week. We all had masks on, and the people who were logging in virtually could not hear us. We had issues with connectivity for some of the members. And so it's very hard to do it in a hybrid way that's effective if you don't have a great setup team and if you don't have great technical support. So if you have that experience and if you have that input, we would welcome that, because Dave and I have been, even for the social last week, we thought the setup team was going to be able to help us with some of that, and we didn't really get a whole lot of support. So if this is something that's important to you, I would recommend that you reach out to Dave and volunteer to help in any way you can to try to make this a reality in the future. All right, Bob Kaufman, anything to add for the youth service report?
Just one other thing, the O'Fallon Township High School Interact Club is, they've been planning several projects for the coming months, and just as an example, sending cards to residents of the Cedarhurst Senior Living, story time for children, and a buddy project with students of Fulton Junior High School. So they're starting to get active, and we'll hear more about their projects and activities a little bit later on.
All right, perfect. Mary Alice, anything for international service? I'm not sure if Mary Alice is on today. All right, guys. All right, any other business?
This is Dave Vale. One question. Last month at the business meeting, you know, there was distribution of the revised language for the bylaws. And I had submitted a proposed tweak to that language to clarify the task that was added. Was that clarification ever considered by the board?
We have not considered any clarifications. We've decided to table it for now. And we'll discuss it at the next board meeting. We had a limited number of board members that were able to be in attendance. And so we decided to just hold off on voting for that change. We are planning a club assembly for December. So at that time, if we decide that we're going to make any change to the bylaws, we'll make it at that time. But the board will consider it again in November, along with any proposed changes that were emailed to the board.
All right, thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
Tanya, just wanted to comment that I thought the food that we got from the social was great. Good food.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
And we'll do that again if there's an interest. We tied it in with the club social in October. I personally would like to do it more. It doesn't have to be part of the social, but if you're interested, reach out and I'll look for nods. We thought maybe we'll pick another restaurant next time. And okay.
Yeah. And there is, if there's a restaurant that you are interested in, or that, you know, is a new business in town that you really want to support as a Rotarian, you know, let us know. We'd love to get behind them and help them out. There's not really a whole lot of requirements in terms of, you know, getting it done. We just need them to cooperate and know that they'll be able to support the event. We had about 30 people that participated in the club, which is great, and really appreciate that. So if we can do it again, it's a great way to, like I said, support local businesses and help people out. All right, well, we'll see you again on Monday at noon. Tom Sullivan has put together an incredible program for Monday. It's a Veterans Day program. I don't think Tom is on here today, but it should be a really nice program. So we always enjoy our Veterans Day program, honoring our veterans.
Tanya, one thing.
Yes.
Last minute, I found out from Tom when I said I'm getting my hip replaced on Tuesday, tomorrow. He says we're going to be neighbors. So, but apparently he is getting his knees replaced, or a knee replaced tomorrow as well. So that's probably why Tom's not on here and maybe having some issues. So.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be thinking of him, and if there's anything that we can do, we need to support him. And Jim, same with you. If you need any support, need anything while you're over there, please let us know.
Thanks, I will.
All right, guys. Well, if that's all, then we'll wrap it up. Anything else for the good of the club?
Hey, good to see Donna Johnson today.
All right.
Bye.
This meeting is adjourned. Have a great Rotary week.
Hey, Tanya, I sent a copy. I put the video in the link, but I also sent a